Okay, so today we're gonna have a long video because it's making the Wonder bracelets. We got the baby version, we got the regular version, and then we're gonna have one more, which is the magnet version. The magnet version is for sports, for people who runs and people who exercise and stuff. You're going to need the magnets, and I'll leave everything in the description also too. I'm going to tell you right here. These are just neo magnets, and I got them. Okay, and they are 6x10. They call 6x10. You can put one or put two. I like to put two, but you can put one or two, or you can put three too if you want. All it does is it stays inside something like this right here, and then when you run, it shakes. That's it. That's all it does. Okay. Now I'm going to introduce you another one. This is my dog's collar. He's doing really good. I'm going to make another video on that, and it'll prove you something. This was 50 windings, and then stainless steel just like regular. And then here, this is where some people were asking, can I curl it? Yeah, you can, because if I curl it, I can lock it. You see it? And he can't pull it out. See it? So it's kind of like locking, and look how it looks. Okay, and that's the dog collar. That's for my dog. Yes, it does help him, and I'll prove it on camera later. I will make that video later. Now, this might be long, like I said, long video, or it might be, I don't know. So I'm gonna go as I go along, because we have to make 3, okay? Because I want to make 3 on videos. Of course, I have to make more, but I'm gonna show you my methods of it. Now, the beginning of that, you would have to make your choice. Either the pen or something like a screwdriver, but not a screwdriver, because see how the tip is? I believe this is like one of those, I don't know what they call it, the square version of, I don't know what to call it. But anyway, it fits onto here like this. And that's how I made my windings. Okay? That's how I made the windings. For these here, I use a pen. And this is how I make my windings. If you want it bigger, you can make a marker. You can do that too. Okay? Now, if you notice, there's a difference between here, because this is just finished winding. I finished the winding and I left it there. This is how it should look like. It actually makes things a lot easier, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay? So when you do that, when you finish your winding, you got to make them look like this. And I'm going to show you how to make from this to this. Okay? So when you finish your winding, make sure it looks something like this. One string goes this way, one string goes this way. Why? Because we're going to bend it. Now you just take this out a little bit and just lift it a little bit. And then use your plier and just bend straight. I put it on this side and I bend it with my finger straight up. Now it should look like that. Now you can straighten back up and everything, and it should look like that instead of this. Okay? We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Let me straighten this up again. I'm a perfectionist, so I like to do my things good, and I believe in do it once and never do it again. Okay, now on this side, just spread out just a little bit, enough for you to fit this in. Hold it, spread it in just like that. Hold it like that, hold it tight, and then just hit it upward like that. Okay? Just for that. Okay? Now you have something like this, straight. Just like these, instead of this. This would have to do the same thing again. You would have to straighten it out. So it can go that way, and this one go this way. After your windings. Okay, I'll do one more time. Take this and press it up a little bit so you have a little room. Okay. Just like that. And then put your plier inside and put it forward. Okay. Now just straighten them up again to make it look nice again. And that's what it should look like. Okay, now I gotta do this side. Okay, and that should be all set. Now they all look exactly like the same. Just like the baby wonder. Okay. I forgot. You need copper, 100% copper. You need stainless steel. Okay, stainless steel. Another way that you can get this, people were asking for aluminum, blah, blah, blah. No other metal. Copper, stainless steel, or iron. That's it. Iron core wire. They're very expensive. The iron core wire, they're very expensive. Now, you're going to need shrink tube, which I have them right here. Oops. Okay. I pre-cut this in advance because I measure them. So I pre-cut them in advance. From the way I see things, you need about 4 inches over here and 4 inches over here. Okay? That's all you really need. I know I made these a little long. This size should be it right here. Okay? So this size should be around what? This is the baby wonder. 8-9 inches long. That's it. The whole thing. Okay? Now, so I cut that in advance. I made one. We're going to do 1, 1, 1. Okay? Let's start with the baby wonder. When you're done with your winding, you got to make it like that. Okay, so it's straight up. I'm going to show you something really easy. I'm going to zoom in. Okay. I developed an easier method to do this. So I'm going to show it to you. So now we got this, right? What you do is you take this and cut it in half. A small shrink tube. For each bracelet, you will need 3. If you don't have them, no need to worry. You don't actually need them. You can actually curl them like this. Okay? So you don't actually need them. This makes our life easier. Oh, and also you need heating gun, okay? All you have to do is hold this side. Like this. Just go down to this. Hold it right there. And just drop your shrink tube in. Whoops. Okay? And look how nice they drop in by themselves. All you do is just heat this up. Okay? So now, you all set. Leave that there. Let it cool down. Let's do the other one. Same thing. We got our long wire. And we need to make this. Drop this in. I stole it from that one, but it's okay. I'll cut it again. And just hold it right there. Okay. And heat that up. And let it shrink onto itself. I developed this method because it's actually easy. Leave that there. We have to make one more because we're doing 3. So let me cut that one out. And let me cut this one out. I'm not going to cut this video. I'm not going to pause or anything, okay? Just remember that. I want it full scale of video. Because I want people to... I'm going slow so people can understand. So now we got to do this side. Wait, let me do this one first. So I got 3 of them. Drop that in. Okay. Hold it like that. And then shrink tube. Okay. That's just to help us. Remember. Now shrink tube this side. Now go to the baby wonder. Shrink tube that side. And you will see why we're doing all this. It's to make our life easy. Now it should look something like this. Just a straight line. You see that? I'll show you why. Let's go to the next one. But this time, you see how the coil is pushing out. Well, I developed something. You take this and you curl it with the string so it can hold on to this end. You slide that through, spring the coil back, and just hold on and just press it like that. And now you will see something like that. Okay, straighten them up, put your tube in, your shrink tube in, hold them together so you can shrink. And this is why it's important to have shrink tube, because this shrink tube have glue in them. So it actually hold it for you right there. Okay? Now, just let it dry. or cool down and move on to the next one. You can take this out now. Loop that out. It's not cool yet. Let me hold on to that. You have to wait until it's cool, okay? Sorry if my hand's in the way. I'm zooming in too close here. But okay, let it cool down a little bit. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it popped out just a little bit. Alright, we're going to heat this up a little bit. Actually, I'll leave that there in a minute. Let's move on to the next one. Spring that down. Again, the same way. Loop that in. Hold on to it. And then put your loop through. Okay. Heat that up. Okay, let that dry. Let it cool down. Okay, so now as soon as it cools down, we get our drill. And I'm going to zoom it out just a little bit. Oh, don't forget safety glasses, okay? I forgot about that. Very important. Now you take your baby wonder and you put them in your drill. Just like we normally would. Okay? Now, the only difference on that is that instead of putting your plier there, just put your plier here. Because we don't want to ruin this piece. You can hold on to it if you like. You see right here? You can hold on to this here if you like. I like to hold on to here because it's only like a few millimeters. See it? And then just wind. However you want. And you will see this a little bit. It's okay. For me. See the difference? Just a little bit. It's okay for me. So it's up to you on that, okay? You can do 2 shrink tube here. Okay? And then you can hold on to it if you like. But for me, I'd rather have this nice shrink tube. See it? It's only a little bit difference right there. So better to be that way. Okay? Next, do the same thing over here. Hold on to it again. And just one. Okay? Now, voila. Okay. Look really nice. We're going to shape it. At first, oh, sorry. We got to measure, see how long you want. Mine, the total on this is about 7. So I got to go 3.5 here and 3.5 there. Okay? Mine is about 7. So you need your cutting and measure 3.5 here. And cut that off. This bracelet is a total of 7. So whatever the wrist size is, okay? Your wrist size. 3.5 there. 3.5 there. And make myself 7. Okay, cut that off. When you cut this off, it's a little bit sharp. You see that? You can file that down if you like. Or if you have a file like this, you can do it right there. Mine happened to have a file right there. Yep, they made a file right here. These good things. They have their own file right there. File the same way this way. If you don't have those, you can actually snap them in like this. Try to get them in really close and just snap them round like that to make it round so it won't hurt you. Okay? That's the whole point of that. Okay? So now we are practically done, to be honest. Now you have to learn how to shape. You have to figure out where your risk is, and mine happened to be right around where the curve is, the shrink tube is. So that's my first curve. I usually curve like that. Okay? I curve just a little bit. Okay? There you go, just a little bit. You see that? Then, about almost a half an inch, I curl it again. Same way over here. So play around to see how they fit. Okay, so up here it's really smaller, so I can squeeze in a little bit. See that? Okay. So now we have something like a U. Okay. Now check here to see if they touch. They kind of touch a little bit. You know I don't like that. So what I do is I put this in here. I put my screwdriver back, and I kind of wing it out a little bit so it can stay out of the way. Same thing here. I pull it from here. Okay. Keep pulling until you get what you want. Now you see the difference on that. There's a big gap there now. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to line this back in the center. I'm going to line this back in the center so it looks something like that. Now I continue again. Probably this is where it looks like. Yep, it fits nicely right there. Okay, so almost half an inch where I curl it last time. I'm going to do another half an inch, curl it, and then another half an inch, curl it. So now almost into the end. Another half an inch and I'll curl it to the end. So go half, almost half, and almost half. Now you are all set. Now you are all set with the bracelet. Okay? Since now we're all done, and that's the way I like it, you can adjust it here. This is where you know, be a little anal and adjust to where you want, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Now, I got what I want. I finished it. Now, remember, if you don't have these little heat shrink tubes, you can go this route and wind round itself. You see that? Just go round, okay? You can do that too. Leave like 2 inches extra and play with it so you'll know. 1 to 2 inches, and then you will see. Okay? But since I'm doing shrink tube, it's easier. You can get them really cheap. They come in a package for like $3. Tons of it in there. Pinch it up here about 5 millimeter. Pinch it and slide it in until it hit. And when it hit, hold your finger right here, and now it won't slide down anymore. Shrink that. Once it's hot, press on it. Now it became flat. Okay? Leave that alone. Go on the other side. Take your 5mm, skip 5mm, hold on to that, squeeze it in here until it can't go no more. Put your finger in here and it won't slide any further. Shrink that. Okay? Once it gets hot, flatten it according to the bracelet. See how they both flap. Okay? Leave that aside. We want to move on to the next one. So that way it'll cool down. Now we already done that part. We need to curl this. So let's get our drill. Okay. Okay, so now I got my drill. Let's move on to the next one. We're going to curl it the same way. Put that in here. Tighten it up. Put your thing over here. And wind you go. Okay. Do the same thing on the other side. Let me cut this to make it straight. Let me hold on to this. Now wind. Now double check to see if this is the same length or the same winding. Now you notice the difference between that and that. That came out straight. This didn't come out straight because this winding is more. So you just have to work on it and straighten it back up. Okay. And plus it curls. The reason why it curls is because when you do this, you have to make them really close, or else it'll curl on you. Okay? And these are the bigger one. When it's bigger, I like to press it in here. I'll show you in a minute. So now we got that one out of the way. Okay? Let's move on to the next one. So now it's a little curl already. Let's move on to this one. Let me put it on here. Hold on to this part right here. And just wind. Okay, that's the way I like it. Go on to this side. Do the same thing. Hold on to it. Now see the difference on this? Because the winding was better. I like to wind them like that. I can adjust this later and see the difference on it. It curls a little bit. And plus we have this to hold on to. Our guide. So take that off. and then you have this straight just like the baby wonder. Okay? Now, this is where your measurement comes in. Okay, move this up a little bit so it can stay away from that. Move this up a little bit so stay away from that. Now that's the gap that I like. Okay. So now we're done with that. We're going to measure the same way. I need 3.5 this way, which is right around here. And it's very short. And remember, we want as much metal as we can, okay? Very important, because we want the metal to touch our skin as much as we can so it can steal better. Now I need 3.5 over here. So it's about there. I know I should have made a little guide, but I'm not if I have to do this a lot, I'll have like a guide to do it. You know, everything all presets, and I can just cut. But because I'm doing this on camera, I can't do that. Mass production will be a little bit different. Now you see how small that is. Okay. Now you want to shape, because remember, now is kind of different, because look at the difference on that. Look at it. Remember the black one for my baby wonder? Look at the difference on it. It's really short. Okay. So how I like it, I leave about 3 to 4 millimeter right up here, and I press it forward. Same thing over here, 3 to 4 millimeter, and I press it forward. And now I have a little gap right there because my wrist got to stay on there, you see? Okay? Then the first bend should be around here again. The first bend should be around here again. Now they're kind of touchy together, so I got to move up just a little bit. Okay? So now they're perfect. I gotta do another 1/2 inch, another 1/2 inch, and another 1/2 inch, and a little bit more. Do the same thing over here. Okay. Now, look at the difference on that. It's kind of messed up. I didn't do that right. So, let me do again. 1/2 inch. Now, it's kind of right. Okay? Even I make mistake, you see? So, you gotta... Don't feel ashamed or whatever, because, you know... Trying is what counts. Even if you don't succeed. I don't succeed a lot of things. I made mistakes in a lot of things. But during my way, I learned a lot of things. And you know what? Funny is, I am more what did you call, how did you say that word? Satisfied or gratification by my mistakes than my good stuff. Can you imagine that? I'm the opposite of the world. I am more satisfied when I make mistakes. Why? Because I learned from it. Okay, so now I'm good. Your wrist is never round, so you're good. Now we just have to spread out just a little bit so we can do our shrink tube. Now your shrink tube, with these, I like to hold them halfway. I believe this is 1 inch. So I like to hold them halfway. That's only 1/2 inch. They only hold on by 1/2 inch. Because we want as much metal as we can. With this one's a little bit different. With this one's a little bit different because we losing this spot right here because this spot is too long comparing to the Baby Wonder. See the difference on that? Really short and long. So we're losing something. So I like to do half and half. Okay. And we'll cut in a minute. Then put in another one. Half again. Put it in. Let me try that one. Yep. Now I got it in. Press it down. Okay, so now we're all set, right? Let it dry. Cool down. We're going to cut the Baby Wonder because that's the one we did before. Leave about 3 millimeters away from where we flatten. Cut across. Cut a little angle. Flip it the other way. And cut a little bit. And we're gonna round it off just a little bit. Why? It's because we don't want it to scratch us. Okay? You can use a nail clipper. You can use a nail clipper. The nail clipper's a little round. Next, this one, cut the same way. I like to shape it myself, so that's what it looks like when it's shaped. Okay? And now, tried it on. And it fits perfectly. Adjusted to where you want. I like them like this. Many times I said in the video, because I don't care. I'd rather have like that because then you can get them out easily like this here. And it doesn't ruin it. Through time, yes, it will break, and that's why we're putting it here. I learned it from my old mistakes. So I put it here, I put the extra here, and that's when it stops it from breaking. Okay? That's my Baby Wonder. I'll leave on my wrist. Let's do this one. We already pressed and cut already. Now we just have to cut that down and shape it. About 3. 3. And then a little bit here. A little bit here. Whoops, I didn't cut that much. Okay. Same way over here. Just a little bit. You just round it off, really. Try to round it off as round as you can. See it? Okay. That's how it's supposed to look like when they're round. Now, test it on your wrist. Spread it like that. And fit it on your wrist. And go like that. And then adjust to where you want. This one's really nice. Okay. And you are all set. Now, I'm going to cut a little time from this. So this is our third one. So you got the Baby Wonder, you got the regular. The next one we want is magnets. Okay, so you get your magnet, but here's the thing. If you drop this in, it'll just fall right through. Okay? I have a remedy for that. You know I'm an inventor too. You see this part right here? Move this to the center. Now you see the difference. That's in the center. This is not. Okay, look really close. That's regular. And this is for the magnet. So it's in the center. That's our blocking. So now if you drop this in, it doesn't fall. Okay, now we have to do the other side to close it. Same thing, just move it to the center. And then when you're done, press it together like this to shape it, to reshape that. Okay, anything that is touching, move it up again. You have to move it up. Very important. They cannot be touched. Okay, move it up, but keep that thing in the center. Okay, now you're good. It won't fall out. Test it. I like it just a little bit more in the center. This one, just a little bit more in the center. Yep, right there. Hopefully the camera will focus. In the center. Remember I told you, I'm an inventor too. So I just invented that for the magnet version. So now the magnet move up and down, up and down. As you run, if you are running, you know exactly what I'm talking about. As you do exercise and everything. This is good for gymnasts too. Because they deal a lot with pain. Yep. I'm going to make that separately. Gymnast video. For gymnast. And look. Okay. Now we're all set. So you have 3. On this video, you have made 3. And I made it really slow so people can follow. Okay? And that's it. All set. The Baby Wonder. The regular, which I skipped because I want to cut this down a little bit. You know how to make the regular. And then the magnet version. Okay? And that's it. Easy, quick, simple. If you have to do like 4 to 6, it'll probably cost you about $20 to $30. You can order these if you don't want to spend all this time to make them. You can order them. I'll leave the link right here. I always in my videos, anytime there's something that link, you will see a message disappear right up here. So that's when you know that there's a link up here. I always try to. And, oh, before I go, YouTube actually delete them. I am telling you. I'm not going to get into that today, but I'm going to tell you something. They actually remove some of it. But anyway, all the links is always here, and then sometimes at the end of the video too. So, I guess that's about it for these 2, right? We did a lot. We learn a lot, and I hope you do. Okay? I hope you learn the Baby Wonder, and then the regular, and then the regular with magnets in them. So basically we have the regular, the Baby Wonder, and with the magnets in it. Okay? So I bought these extra of the magnets because I have to do a bunch of them. But that's what they look like. Okay? Other than that, I hope you enjoy the video and I hope you learn how to make these. I will see you in the next video.